Dear Sir, my name is David Beckham and I am 18 years old. I am writing to you concerning my occupation as a professional footballer.
Here today to kick off building a boot together and see where it goes.
We've walked away from Predator and a lot of people are like, where's it gone? What's going on?
It made me actually quite upset because it's such a massive part of my history in the game and it's such a massive part of Adidas as well. People talk about my style over the years, but it probably began with the Predator boot. You know, we kind of pushed boundaries. I remember there was 4 or 5 of the class of '92 lads on a trip in Dallas. Gary just produced these pair of Predators from nowhere, and it was just one of those moments where I put them on for the first time and I was like, wow, this actually does really work. Predator, it's such a great name for a boot.
We speak to a lot of Predator collectors. The way they talk about your iconic boots as well is really interesting. They're associating a boot with a goal, with a David Beckham era.
My debut was against Brighton, in Brighton, and I didn't have a boot sponsor. And I wrote this letter to Adidas asking if they could maybe sponsor me or send me some boots and send me some gear. It was just me explaining who I was and who I played for and hopefully where I was going to go, and the rest is history.
So we were thinking, what's really important if we're going to build a boot together, build a range together, is to find something that's really expresses what's dead personal to you, that could only really be David's shoe, right? Yeah. Incredible to see some of your personal boots as well. I mean, maybe you could tell us a bit some of the stories and what's the best boot you like playing?
This, just because I love the design.
Predator Accelerator's often #1 of best football boots ever.
I always loved the stripes and the way they stood out on a pitch. Doesn't matter where you were playing, what stadium you were in, these boots stood out, always. Looking back and thinking of iconic moments, wearing such an iconic boot, scoring my first goal for England in a World Cup, actually on my mum's birthday, and then obviously winning the Champions League, European Cup in Barcelona. That night was such a special night, but that is one image actually that I've got in my house of my boot on top of the trophy, which is slightly disrespectful to the trophy, but
you own it then, and you've won it.
But we'd won it. It was our trophy for the year. So once Sir Alex Ferguson let me wear other coloured boots, I was never going back to a black boot. To be honest, it was something that I kind of always went for a brighter colour, not because I wanted to stand out on the pitch, but because consciously, every time I looked down or I was receiving the ball or kicking the ball, I felt I had more connection.
Accelerator is one of the most beautiful products Adidas ever made. I think it's like really incredible.
And it's just something that I feel that would really work, you know, on the street side, on the obviously the pitch side. I mean, imagine that with those stripes. It'd be so cool. The idea of football and street coming together 15, 20 years ago, you know, it would have been seen as being disrespectful, you know, but these days, you know, it's all about combining that.
You were probably the first player to do that, be as well known for on-pitch style as on-pitch playing style, and kind of bringing all of this world of fashion and music and sport and putting it all together.
My mum had a washing line outside, and I used to take the wooden clips off of it and actually put them on the tongue so the next morning it'd be perfect. I actually sewed an elastic on once just to see how it worked, and it did, and then obviously the idea was to do that on all my boots, and it kind of worked. The tongue part was an important part back in the day, but you know, times have changed. I think talking about the colourways, I would love to do a triple white boot personally. Just it's something that I loved wearing an all white boot. I loved wearing kind of a boot that actually not stood out, but something that actually I felt comfortable in. So a triple white boot for me, I'd love to do that. And then being a Man United fan, you know, red, black and white.
That's really like the Adidas colourway, the David colourway.
Why don't we do, you know, triple white, triple red, triple black? It's the most stylish boot. The colours are great. Red, black and white means everything to me. What do you think?
I think it's brilliant.
Street, everyone wants an all black street shoe. And obviously a cage shoe in all red would be amazing, and then the boot triple white would be so cool.
It's beautiful. I want to get started now.
I know.
David,
Morning.
you are here in the Maker's Lab, so if you're okay with it, I'm gonna bring you
I'm okay with one of these.
finally the all white boots. Ta-da!
Wow. Amazing.
Here it is.
Yeah, it's a proper boot.
One for the stadium, one for the cage, and one for the street.
It has that old school kind of memories for me of playing in these boots, but then it takes it to a kind of a modern, more up-to-date version.
We wanted to bring some of our new technologies and new materials, but then obviously stay true to the original boot as well.
This is a lightweight construction, including boost technologies, so we are really bringing in all the technologies which are existing out there into one product. We're having the knit color finish, what we have in here with the ribs.
We can basically replace that with these.
That's really cool.
So these are like key moments and special goals. I mean, this was this was your last sort of professional minute playing for PSG. And I think for this one, we kind of thought about the one against Colombia.
Yeah.
But you know, if you've also got other moments that you feel would make more sense, then
So many moments.
That was tough to choose from as
So
well.
many moments. I mean, is there any way of doing some kind of detail on the inside of the elastic? I think if you have those hidden details, then that's what makes it special.
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you pick up the product and you think, wow, you know, there's a lot of attention that's gone into it.
Yeah, a lot of detail. Okay, what about the reflective stripes?
To have them reflective on this would be incredible. You know, the stripes for me is such an iconic part of this boot. If we can really focus on that.
We can. Yeah, whenever you have got the flash, it's gonna pop out.
I have a jacket at home that I wore that one of my sons has got as well, and I took a picture of it in it the other day, and the flash was on, and all you saw from the picture was the reflective jacket. So if we can have that with these stripes, I think it'd look so great.
We can.
Yeah.
The colourways are perfect. White was such a great boot for me, and every time that there was a concept boot coming out and I had to wear the all black concept boot for training to see how they were, to kind of try them out, I always had a bad session that day.
We've talked about white and there's significance there.
Being England and Real Madrid and Galaxy.
Exactly, yeah. But also when it comes to the reds, actually this is the red that Manchester United will use also in the season when these shoes come out. And then when it comes to the black one, the number 32, this is then kind of linking to your time at PSG and also at AC Milan as well. So.
I think one of the other things is the tips. If we can change these to gold or silver.
Here are gold lace
really
tips.
Cool. We always did something that was special and different to any other brand and any other boot. They're very discreet moments, and I think that changes the excitement of wearing a boot with something like that on.
The details always that make the huge difference.
That's what it is. It's those small details.
The only one thing that I would say is the only thing is the chunkiness of this. And that's the only part of this shoe that I'm that I was not worried about, but I just kind of came into my mind.
From that finish, fully agree. I mean, we've got actually 3 or 4 layers of material. So what we're gonna do is we take out primer in the forefoot, really only nail the materials down to wherever it's needed.
And that chunkiness will go from
This is
that.
gonna be gone.
What about this?
This pull tab here.
A little bit too wide.
Like
Should we cut something?
Yeah. Cut your finger now.
That's why you picked the red one. I think that's a good idea, David.
Yeah.
And David as well, these are, just wanted to show you a couple of options in terms of the logos. So for example, we've got this one here, which has got more of a cleaner finish, and then we've got another one here, which is a little bit more angular. And these are then actually inspired by some of your jerseys that you used to wear back in the day.
Yeah, the connection to my shirts that I've worn is, I think it's important because that's what it's all about.
And also then linking a little bit to the Predator font.
To do just a regular number wouldn't be anything special, and I think that this really goes back to the Predator that was on, you know, that boot, and it takes me back to how it was kind of written on or stitched on.
Yeah.
I mean, all of these details are so great. People really feel like they're getting something that's special. It's perfect because you see
The boots that I used to wear, but then obviously with this sock.
your present day modern shoe, and that's what is exciting about it. Actually, you've hit it out the park, I think.
It's the third part of the journey to bring your concept to life. It's a pleasure to show you what a lot of us are excited about.
We got these hot off the press from the factory yesterday. A lot of energy and excitement around these. So the stadium part of your journey with us.
I love that.
It's a beauty, right?
The reflective stripes are incredible. Keeping the iconic stitching around there is perfect to be left in. They seem more narrow as well, which I like. Being a boost as well, the lightness is incredible.
We have a thing called reveal. So when you stretch the collar,
Yeah.
it reveals a date or a number.
I love that detail. It makes it special, it makes it different.
I mean, I think it brings the romance into the product,
Yeah.
right? Gold lace tips on this one, we got them in there. We've got 2 different ways of doing the prime knit construction in here. Here's very open. This is probably a bit more practical.
Definitely makes it different with it being more open. I mean, practicality was never something that I really thought about throughout my career anyway, so there's a naughtiness to this boot. There's something about this that is actually quite disruptive, so personally I like that.
Naughtiness is good.
Naughtiness is good.
One of the most beautiful shoes we've made.
We've showed you the stadium. Now we have the cage part.
I'm still excited.
I'm excited.
Actually, I don't even know if I want to give them to you. It's a beauty.
It's amazing.
There you go.
The colour's great.
It's 1-to-1 the Man United red. Make sure that we link it exactly perfect with the kit that's going to be played this season. This has then got the more open prime knit in here, and then the reveal goal, date and time detail on the collar.
I mean, it looks great.
Nice to hear.
And then finally, the third part of the journey.
The final piece in the puzzle, from stadium to cage to street.
I mean, they're so cool.
I think this guy's a monster.
Yeah. People are going to love these shoes. They're so much cleaner, and obviously the chunkiness as well is so much better, and it's a bit more taken away as well.
So we've taken some of the foam out the toe to kind of make it tighter and
Flatter in the tone on the last sample.
The chunkiness has been taken away.
And then we bring the gold lace tips onto all 3 packs.
Detail of the gold tips would be amazing. I love the matte as well. I think it's so much better.
And this could then be the option that we go through with the reveal collar, date, time.
Goals that made a difference.
So there's then the triple red box with the bespoke font that we made, bespoke number, influenced by Pred, white for the white, the blackout. That's good. I think we've never done detailing like this before. I think this is like raising the bar on everything else.
When you have a letter, when you have, you know, the words around the shoe, or whether you know, the shoe on the bag, you know, it's something that
I think
special. To actually see young kids wearing these shoes, it's going to make me proud because I was a part of something that's helped create these shoes. That it'll be special.
Without a doubt, it's a game changer for me. It's amazing. I wish I was still playing.